particularly pleased to see a couple of young people here I haven't seen in a long time. Tony over on the side, who was one of our graduate students in the counseling department. I knew Tony a couple years ago, but unfortunately Tony had to go off on a tour of duty in Iraq. So he's back, and we really welcome him back, and glad to see him back in the Colloquium again, because for many years he was one of our mainstay people in the Colloquium, and actually brought some of your students from Montgomery College over to be a part of the Colloquium. Some of you are in our class, and those of you who are in the seminar class know that we have been studying this semester the whole issue of pay for performance as an incentive to improve teacher performance as well as student performance. And that's what this semester is pretty much about, what we've been doing in the class, what we're addressing here in the Colloquium. So tonight we have some guests, and my colleague, Dr. Stephanie Brown, will introduce them and be in charge for the rest of the session. I get to rest tonight, so Stephanie, it's all yours.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you all for making it. We have some exciting speakers tonight. I know you guys, I missed the first colloquium session. I was out of town, but I know you guys had a lot of follow-up questions about the first program. So we were lucky that one of my esteemed colleagues was able to come out and speak with you tonight. We have two speakers. The first one is Audrey Davis from Prince George's County Public Schools. I had to make a little note about all the things that Audrey does, because she has like 5 divisions in her under her control at Prince George's County. She is the Director of Organizational Effectiveness. And under that is organizational development, which includes training and development for non-instructional staff and paraeducators. And that's, we're working together on a grant servicing paraeducators and providing some professional development for middle school paraeducators. So we're very excited. And that's how Audrey and I first met, working together on that project. So we're very excited about that. That'll be ensuing soon. We will be providing culturally responsive teaching and some professional development in mathematics for pairs in Prince George's County. She's also in charge of teacher recruitment. So can you imagine what it's like to be in charge of teacher recruitment right now? In any county across the state and any place in the country, it's a shortage all over the place. So she has a big task ahead on that front. She's also in charge of higher education partnerships, which means she's the person that connects the university with Prince George's County. And she is also over the Office of Strategic Partnerships. I know this list is long. It's incredible. And finally, she is also over the first program, the Financial Incentive Rewards for Supervisors and Teachers, the one that you guys are here to hear about. So obviously, she has a wealth of information about Prince George's County, so feel free. I've already warned her on the walk over that some students will be asking her questions afterwards. And before being with Prince George's County, she was an organizational development consultant for 15 years in the healthcare industry. So she's made the transition nicely. She's been with Prince George's County about 2 years now. Our second speaker, I'll just tell you a little bit about him right before we get started, so then we'll be able to flow right into that. His name is Segun Eubanks. He's from the NEA, National Education Association. And he's going to look at it from a little different perspective, not as local, but more of a national perspective about teacher quality and how teacher incentive programs are working across the country. I knew Beth wrote me about the Tennessee project, and so I mentioned to him over the phone that you may be interested in talking to him afterwards. He's taking, one thing that interests me about Mr. Eubanks' background is he's had a commitment to disadvantaged students for a long time, coming from a counselor in the Upward Bound program to working with NEA and working at the NEA now and trying to recruit more African American teachers into the teaching profession. He is also a Boston, Massachusetts native and the father of 4. I had to ask the range of these kids, and they're from age 4 to 23. So not only does he have a business, 10? Oh, 10, sorry. You know you like the age of 4. No, 10 to 23. Sorry about that. And he's working on his EDD here at UMD. And he served in a variety of capacities, not only with Upward Bound, but also at the national level at NEA, as I mentioned. Today he'll be talking from a policy analyst perspective, which is always interesting to think about how we get from our ideas and conceptualizing them and turning them into policy. So first I'd like to present to you Audrey Davis. Welcome.
Thank you. What I'd like to do is just give you an overview of the FIRST program. I bought my briefing book, and this was the book that we prepared for our Board of Education, and to give them information about the FIRST program. When the grant was written, it was written in a manner so that we had a full year of planning. And I really think that that is what has made our program so successful. There was a task force that was comprised of administrators as well as central office staff, teachers, and a number of principals. And that team is what developed the FIRST program. The program itself was designed to provide an incentive to both teachers as well as administrators, and it's totally voluntary. One of the things that was so important to us, and really the teachers drove the point, was that in designing the program, people should be able to opt in and opt out. Because if you had something that was going to be mandatory within the school, then you start applying pressures to people to be a part of the FIRST